Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Sunday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome. Good to see you. I have a very special live for you today. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, and I welcome you to this live. I got a very special live for you today. Some of you may know, some of you may not, but tomorrow is Persian New Year's. So Persian New Year is actually the same as the start of spring. So whenever spring starts on the hour, that's when we celebrate Persian New Year. I think tomorrow is around 2:40 p.m., 2:45 p.m.-ish Pacific Standard Time. And so I don't think I've ever done a live. I may have talked about the history before, but I don't think I've ever done this type of a live before. So it's a first. So, for Christmas, many of you know Christmas, right? So for Christmas, a lot of us set up, that's by far my favorite holiday. I was actually thinking about that the other day, but Christmas got to be my favorite. So you set up your Christmas tree, you set up all this, you have all these traditions, right? You do the decorations, the lightings, and all that stuff, right? Well, it's kind of the same thing for Persians, but we don't set up a Christmas tree, obviously, right? Most of them obviously don't. Not in the spring. That would be kind of strange. But what we do is that we have a very specific way of setting a table with a few items that are very specific, and they gotta be on every table. And they each represent something. So I thought today, like I said, I've never done a live like this before. So the reason why I keep looking over here is because I have my table set up right here. And so I'm gonna take you through each item on the table and let you know what each item is. But before I do that, so the table is set up, and you can get creative, and people do get creative, but there are 7 things, actually, when you really think about it, 9 things that must be present on this table. Like, absolutely, right? 7 of them start with the letter S. The other 2 don't, but I'll tell you what the other 2 is. But these 9 items gotta be on every table, but the 7 is a must. Like these that start with an S, they gotta be here, right? So I'm excited to take you through this and share with you what I got going on my table. I'm excited for the new year. Tomorrow is the new year. I get to celebrate new year twice. Like I get a new year twice, one for being here, and then one for celebrating the Persian New Year, if you would. So I'm excited to take you through this. I was actually excited to do some research about these items and find out what they are, and no lie, they're pretty cool actually. So let's do this dance, right? So if you're ready, say I'm ready, like my boy Jim Brown used to say. Here we go. So this is my table setup. Let me see if I can get the whole thing. Well, I could lower this. Hold on. Okay, so here we go. All right, so let me start with the 2 that are, it's pretty cool, right? So there's each item, there's all kinds of stuff on the table, if you would, right? So let me share with you what I got going on. All right, so the very first thing that gotta have is the mirror. You gotta have a mirror at the table, and that does not start with S in Farsi. So you gotta have this, and that's for reflection, for light. You gotta have the mirror there, right? Now, next is you gotta have some goldfish. I don't know if you can see, but I'll lift them up. I got some goldfish here, right? So you gotta have some goldfish, and goldfish does not start with an S, but it represents life. So you gotta have some goldfish on the table. Now let's go through the other stuff that do start with an S. So the first thing is you gotta have what's called sabze. Sabze is this little guy, and I am so proud to say that I grew mine for the first time ever. I've never done this before, ever in my life. So I grew my sabze, and I gotta tell you, I'm actually pretty proud of it. It came out pretty good. So this is basically for abundance. So you have this sabze because you wish for an abundant year. Now, if you see, there's a red ribbon around it, and the red ribbon, I didn't have a thick one, so I had to go with what I got. So the red ribbon around it represents the fact that this has got to be like, basically your abundance is organized. And this represents an organized year if you have this wrapped around your sabze. Hi, Bella June, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. So that's the first thing, okay? The second thing, let's see, let's go through this. This is garlic, and in Farsi, it's called sir, and it does start with an S, and garlic represents health and keeping the bad energy out. So that's why you put a garlic, a whole garlic, and that represents basically a healthy year, and it's supposed to keep the bad energy out. Okay. Then let's see, you got rice, and the way they do rice, usually they want it, what they do, they put a coin, or usually a coin inside the rice. So coin does start with an S, and it is one of the 7, and in Farsi it's seke. And the reason why they put it inside the rice is because that's bread, and that's kind of wealth. So you're asking for a good year in pay, basically. And they do ask that you put coins in there, and if you have a larger dish and you got more rice, you want to put odd amount of coins. So if you want to put 1, 3, 5, not 2 or 4, so it's got to be odd. Now check this out. I've been here for 37 years. Okay, don't laugh. But I brought these from Iran when I was 13 years old, and I still have them. What? I don't even know what these mean, but they're like coins and bills from back then. So I'm kind of, anyway, I have that. Then you have, let's just go through the table here. So I have what's called vinegar here. And the thing with vinegar is you gotta have it to the lip of the cup, or wherever you pour this into. It's got to be to the lip, to the lid. And the reason why is that vinegar represents patience. So you're asking for patience when things are rough, right? You're asking to be calm and patient. Let's go over here. This is not okay. I was gonna go over the 7. So the next thing is an apple. An apple does start with an S, and it's called sib in Iran, in Farsi. And the thing with apple is that you want to put the number of apples would be equal the number of people in your home. So if you got one person in your home, you put one apple. If you got 10 people in your home, you got to put 10 apples. Okay, so that's that. Oh, this is so cool. So this is sumac, and sumac is actually a spice, right? And it's kind of, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of a color of a sunrise or what have you, right? If you're joining me right live, I can't see who's joining me, but welcome. I appreciate you guys. I'm going over the tradition set up for a Persian New Year. So this is one of the seven, if you would, and it's called sumac. And the reason why this is here, this represents basically sunrise. And it's supposed to, what it means is that after a rough night, after a dark night, if you would, this is supposed to remind you that there is a sunrise, there is hope, and there is basically another day you're looking forward to. Right, so that's kind of representing the next day. There's going to be a good time, a sunrise after dark, basically, right? Now, these two kind of go hand in hand together. This is called senjed. You can see, look at this little guy. Some people eat these. I actually sometimes eat these. I don't know what these are, but this is senjed. It's dried something, and it's very soft to touch. It's very soft to touch, right? And this and samanu go hand in hand together. Samanu, it's kind of like a licorice, kind of like a pudding almost, right? And this is actually a fruit of love. They say this has come from a love tree. So this is a fruit of love, and this is for gratitude and gratefulness. So, and you're supposed to combine these with pastry and sweets, and this is kind of what I've done, right? So you're supposed to combine these with pastries and sweets, and it's supposed to represent love and abundance and sweetness, right? So that's, now this is called senjed, samanu, sib, somaq, sir, serke, seke, sabze. Those are the 7 essentials. Now, let me show you something else that's really cool here. I got some colored eggs, okay? Now, you're supposed to put fresh eggs, and these are supposed to be chicken eggs, no other eggs, and they're supposed to be fresh. And the reason for that, that represents fertility and reproduction. So those of you who are wanting to have kids and want to get want to expand the family, if you would, keeping a PG-13, is you want to have some fresh colored eggs, and that would represents fertility, right? Now, there's a couple other things. You just kind of want to have some fun with it. This is sombol. This is like, flowers. These are going to bloom. These are going to open up. I got my little guy over here. This is a kind of a, I don't know how even to explain this guy, so forget about that guy. And then I got, let's see, some sage that I burn usually. And so, yeah. So that's, oh, and of course, and usually Persians put the Quran. Well, since I've converted, I use the Bible, so I put the Bible in front of the mirror, if you would. So this is my table for tomorrow for New Year's, and if you got a table that you set up and you like to show it off, drop a picture down below in the comments. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this, and I'm back. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and let's see, let me just get back here. And I appreciate you guys. Hey, if you got a picture, or you set up a table, or you know somebody, you're you know about it, drop a picture, or drop your thoughts and comments below. Let this feed grow. I appreciate you guys. And if you feel like this was worthy of sharing, you got a couple of Persian friends you want to show this off to, hey, tag them over here or show this on your wall. Do what you got to do. Spread the love. You feel me? And yeah, and I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.